Question: what can we do to avoid certain money mistakes? Let's talk about it. Back in a minute. Hi, this is Jan from New York City. My channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. I'd like to also think at times to help you save time, energy, even once in a great while sanity. Hope that everybody's doing well. If you're brand new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're a veteran subscriber and viewer here, sincere and humble, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're just stopping by to say hello for a minute, hello, thank you for the minute of your time. And I hope one day, sincerely, that you come back. There are some things in life that we can avoid. And I'm going to mention 9 money mistakes that can easily be avoided. Let's go on to number 1. Keeping up with the neighbors, otherwise known as the Joneses. You know that old saying, the Joneses keeping up with the Joneses. It is a silly practice. I don't really get it. And why are we comparing our worth to somebody else's worth? Oh, they got the better car. They got the bigger house. This, that, whatever. Pay no heed to that. Just pray for them. Bless them, wish them well. And you know what? One day, maybe you'll have something like that or even better than that. But it's not really all that important. The emphasis is not important. But I'll tell you one thing. If you jump into that game and keep trying to keep up with the quote, end of quote, Joneses, you have a great chance into getting into credit card debt. Do you really want to do that? I don't think so. So forget about keeping up with the Joneses. Next, not paying off credit cards immediately. And speaking of credit cards, right? That is a huge mistake. If you are going to make a purchase, but you know, and use your credit card, but you already know that, I really don't think I'll have enough money to pay that thing off in a month. I'll just go on with minimum payments. You are setting yourself up for disaster. Don't do that. Don't make purchases unless you know absolutely that when the bill comes due, that you will be able to pay the bill. That's a given. You should just be able to do it. In fact, experts say that at maximum, the entire bill should be paid off in 2 to 3 months. So keep that in mind. Okay. Next, thinking that an emergency fund is either unimportant or not obtainable. Well, I don't know how we could think it's not important because unlike many other things in life, emergencies usually do not give you a warning label. They do not give you a letter in the mail saying, hey, in 2 weeks, you're going to have an absolute catastrophe. It usually doesn't work that way. There is no warning. So we have to be warned ourselves to be ready for that possibility and take a lot of stress off of things. The more you prepare now, the less stress you'll have later. You don't have to start big. Start in small, teensy-weensy steps. See whatever you can save and then try building upon that and building upon that. And before you know it, you will have what you need and then some. At least that's my hope. Next, underutilizing stuff that you already paid for. You already paid for it. It's in your house. It's in your apartment. It's just like sitting there. How many of you guys and gals actually use that bread machine you really, really thought you needed a couple years back? I need that bread machine. Maybe you did at that time, and then maybe you forgot about it, or maybe you thought you did, and you still forgot about it. I'm just using that as an example. There are probably a ton of things in your home or apartment that you already paid for, and you're not getting the maximum value out of, or at least once in a great while. And this also applies even to purchases like health and beauty aids. How many times did you swear by a certain shampoo? You ended up with 5 bottles, and they're just still like sitting there and not getting used. And then you go out and buy new shampoo, utilizing money that could go somewhere else. These are just tiny examples. However, they do add up if you add up all of them. So one day when you have a little time on your hands, go around, take inventory of your own stuff. We are more abundantly blessed than we realize. Just saying. The same rule applies for frozen food or food in general. If it's getting, especially food in the freezer too, if food in the freezer gets past its prime, or just about to get past its prime, you don't want food waste. You want to do everything you can to avoid food waste. Next, Good old saying, living beyond our means, spending more than you bring in is a huge mistake. Where's that extra money coming from? I mean, what are we dreaming up this money? Are we printing up the dollars in our brains? No. No, we can't do that, because if you some again, like I said, some people consider credit cards their bank account, their personal bank account. Oh, I could just charge it. Well, then what happens when the bill comes due? Do you have the funds? These are important questions you have to ask yourself. I hate to sound like this all the time, but one of the biggest secrets in life is if you can live within your means or under your means, you will be doing yourself and your family a huge favor. Other than that, thinking that you could constantly live above your means or live above your means even at all is just not good practice. And it comes back to bite. It really does. Next, being afraid of your own numbers. I have mentioned this in past videos, but there are some new people viewing this video, for example, and maybe it'll be the first time that that person hears it. Fearing your own numbers, being afraid to confront your own budget. Do you have a budget? Do you sit down once a month? I suggest the beginning of the month is always a good time to really just sit down with your bills, figure out know what your income is, write it down, write it down. I'll hook up a video that I think will be very, very helpful to you. And it should help you out regarding setting up a budget. Don't be afraid of budget. If you don't like the word budget, use what I like to use, spending plan. You are planning on how to spend or manage your money. Hey, you could come up with another terminology for budget. Let me know. Next, constantly relying on someone else to handle the bills. I know I've said this before, but I can't say it enough times. What if you got so used to somebody else always handling the household bills and you know really nothing about what's going on? May I ask, heaven forbid times infinity, if something bad should ever happen to that person, are you prepared to just pick up and figure it all out? I think it's a great idea to get familiar somewhat with your own stuff. Sure, it's easy at the moment to defer things to other people. It seems easy anyway, but it is not easy when you're trying to, for the first time, figure out your own bills and stuff like that. And yes, some people don't know how to really look at their stuff, which is really fixable. It's fixable. So while you have a chance, do it. Next, going along with plans that you're really not interested in. I may have, scantily, talked about this on other videos, but I want to just go into a deeper dive with this. You don't always have to say yes to every single invitation on planet Earth. I know. It's difficult to say no. N-O, two letters. I know it's hard to use them, but if it means that it's going to put you in debt or you're too embarrassed to say no or whatever, I think true friends and true people that really, really care for you will totally understand. And just because you might be saying no now, you can't afford the situation right at the moment, doesn't mean that forever and ever and ever. So maybe you could reschedule that thing. Or on a different note, suppose you're really just forgetting about the money reason, but you just don't want to do that thing. And it's not really, really pertinent or important for your life, whatever. If it's one of those fluffery kind of things and you really dread doing it, don't do it. Just saying. And a little bit of a bonus tip, I strongly suggest that if you have not started a starter stockpile already, look at your stockpile like stocks. Like stocks in the stock market, except you're going to the supermarket to stock up on your stocks and take control of or create a miniature little baby teensy weensy grocery store of your own, of which you get to shop when you need it. Doesn't cost a lot of money. You can look around your existing kitchen and find something extra in your current cabinets that you could just begin to physically take one or two cans or items of that and create a pantry or stockpile space. You could use a shelf, you could use a box, you could find places under the beds. There are so many wonderful videos out there discussing how to start a stockpile, and you could do it for a song each and every single grocery haul. Well, I know that these tips will help many, many people. They have always helped me, throughout my life, and I'm just so happy to share them with you. And in the meantime, Wishing everybody an amazing, fantastic day. I want to close out the show. Be right back in a minute. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Bye.